Chapter 7, Goal Setting. Setting and achieving your goals. Knowledge helps you to reach your destination provided you know what the destination is. An ancient Indian sage was teaching his disciples the art of archery. He put a wooden bird as the target and asked them to aim at the eye of the bird. The first disciple was asked to describe what he saw. He said, I see the trees, the branches, the leaves, the sky, the bird, and its eye. The sage asked this disciple to wait. Then he asked the second disciple the same question and he replied, I only see the eye of the bird. The sage said, Very good, then shoot. The arrow went straight and hit the eye of the bird. What is the moral of the story? Unless we focus, we cannot achieve our goal. It is hard to focus and concentrate, but it is a skill that can be learned. On the journey of life's highway, keep your eyes upon the goal. Focus on the donut, not upon the hole. Anonymous. Keep your eyes upon the goal. On July 4, 1952, Florence Chadwick was on her way to becoming the first woman to swim the Catalina Channel. She had already conquered the English Channel. The world was watching. Chadwick fought the dense fog, bone-chilling cold, and many times the sharks. She was striving to reach the shore, but every time she looked through her goggles, all she could see was the dense fog. Unable to see the shore, she gave up. Chadwick was disappointed when she found out that she was only half a mile from the coast. She quit, not because she was a quitter, but because her goal was not in sight anywhere. The elements didn't stop her. She said, I'm not making excuses. If only I had seen the land, I could have made it. 2 months later, she went back and swam the Catalina Channel. This time, in spite of the bad weather, she had her goal in mind and not only accomplished it, but beat the men's record by 2 hours. Why are goals important? On the best sunny day, the most powerful magnifying glass will not light paper if you keep moving the glass. But if you focus and hold it, the paper will light up. That is the power of concentration. A man was traveling and stopped at an intersection. He asked an elderly man, Where does this road take me? The elderly person asked, Where do you want to go? The man replied, I don't know. The elderly person said, Then take any road. What difference does it make? How true. When we don't know where we are going, any road will take us there. Supposing you have the football 11 enthusiastically ready to play the game, all charged up, and then someone took the goalpost away. What would happen to the game? There is nothing left. How do you keep score? How do you know you have arrived? Enthusiasm without direction is like wildfire and leads to frustration. Goals give a sense of direction. Would you sit in a train or a plane without knowing where it was going? The obvious answer is no. Then why do people go through life without having any goals? Dreams. People confuse goals with dreams and wishes. Dreams and wishes are nothing more than desires. Desires are weak. Desires become strong when they are supported by direction, dedication, determination, discipline, deadlines. That is what differentiates a desire from a goal. Goals are dreams with a deadline and an action plan. Goals can be worthy and unworthy. It is passion, not wishing, that turns dreams into reality. Steps to turn a dream into reality. 1. Have a definite, clear written goal. 2. Have a plan to accomplish it. 3. Read the first 2 twice a day. Why don't more people set goals? There are many reasons, including 1. A pessimistic attitude, always seeing the pitfalls rather than the possibilities. 2. Fear of failure. What if I don't make it? People feel subconsciously that if they don't set goals and if they don't make it, then they haven't failed. But they are failures to begin with. 3. A lack of ambition. This is a result of our value system and lack of desire to live a fulfilled life. Our limited thinking prevents us from progress. There was a fisherman who, every time he caught a big fish, would throw it back into the river, keeping only the smaller ones. A man watching this unusual behavior asked the fisherman why he was doing this. The fisherman replied, because I have a small frying pan. Most people never make it in life because they are carrying a small frying pan. That is limited thinking. Fourth, a fear of rejection. If I don't make it, what will other people say? 5. Procrastination. Someday I'll set my goals. This ties in with a lack of ambition. 6. Low self esteem. Because a person is not internally driven and has no inspiration. 7. Ignorance of the importance of goals. Nobody taught them and they never learned the importance of goal setting. 8. A lack of knowledge about goal setting. People don't know the mechanics of setting goals. They need a step by step guide so that they can follow a system. Goal setting is a series of steps. When you buy a plane ticket, what does it say? 1. Starting point. 2. Destination. 3. Class of travel. 4. Price. 5. Starting date. 6. Expiry date. If you ask most people what is their one major objective in life, they would probably give you a vague answer, such as I want to be successful, be happy, make a good living, and that is it. They are still wishes, they are all wishes, and none of them are clear goals. Goals must be smart. 1. S for specific. For example, I want to lose weight. This is wishful thinking. It becomes a goal when I pin myself down to I will lose 10 pounds in 90 days. 2. M. Must be measurable. If we cannot measure it, we cannot accomplish it. Measurement is a way of monitoring our progress. 3. A. Must be achievable. Achievable means that it should be out of reach enough to be challenging, but it should not be out of sight. Otherwise, it becomes disheartening. 4. R. Realistic. A person who wants to lose 50 pounds in 30 days is being unrealistic. 5. T. Time bound. There should be a starting date and a finishing date. Goals can be 1. Short term up to 1 year, 2. Mid term up to 3 years, 3. Long term up to 5 years. Goals can be longer than 5 years, but then they become a purpose of life. And having a purpose is very important because without one, it is possible to develop tunnel vision where we are only obsessed with achieving our goals. Goals are more easily achieved if they are broken into small ones. Life is hard by the yard, but by the inch that it's a kinch. Gene Gordon. Goals must be balanced. Our life is like a wheel with 6 spokes. 1. Family. Our loved ones are the reason to live and make a living. 2. Financial. Represents our career and the things that money can buy. 3. Physical. Our health, without which nothing makes sense. 4. Mental. Represents knowledge and wisdom. 5. Social. Every individual and organization has social responsibility without which society starts dying. 6. Spiritual. Our value system represents ethics and character. If any of these spokes is out of line, our life goes out of balance. Take a few minutes and just think. If you had any one of the 6 missing, what would life be like? Balance. In 1923, 8 of the wealthiest people in the world met. Their combined wealth, it is estimated, exceeded the wealth of the government of the United States at that time. These men certainly knew how to make a living and accumulate wealth, but let's examine what happened to them 25 years later. 1. President of the largest steel company, Charles Schwab, lived on borrowed capital for 5 years before he died bankrupt. 2. President of the largest gas company, Howard Hudson, went insane. 3. One of the greatest commodity traders, Arthur Cutten, died insolvent. 4. President of the New York Stock Exchange, Richard Whitney, was sent to jail. 5. A member of the President's cabinet, Albert Fall, was pardoned from jail to go home and die in peace. 6. The greatest bear. The greatest bear on Wall Street, Jesse Livermore, committed suicide. 7. President of the world's greatest monopoly, Ivor Kruger, committed suicide. 8. President of the Bank of International Settlement, Leon Fraser, committed suicide. What they forgot was how to make a life. It is stories like this that give the readers the false impression that money is the root of all evil. That is not true. Money provides food for the hungry, medicine for the sick, clothes for the needy. Money is only a medium of exchange. We need two kinds of education, one that teaches us how to make a living and one that teaches us how to live. These are people who are so engrossed in their professional life that they neglect their family, health, and social responsibilities. If asked why they do this, they would reply that they were doing it for their family. Our kids are sleeping when we leave home. They were sleeping when we come home. 20 years later, we turn back and they are still gone. They are gone. We have no family left. That is sad. Quality, not quantity. It is not uncommon to hear that it is not the quantity of time that we spend with our families, but the quality that matters. Just think about it. Is it really true? Supposing you went to the best restaurant in town where they gave you white glove service with cutlery from England, crockery from France, chocolates from Switzerland, and on and on. You picked up the gold plated menu and ordered a dish of barbecued chicken. The waiter within minutes brought back a small cube of the most deliciously prepared chicken. You ate it and asked, "Is that all I am going to get?" The waiter replied, "It is not the quantity but the quality that matters." You said that you are still hungry and he gave you the same reply. I hope the message is clear. Our families need both quality and quantity. Health. We lose our health in the process of earning money, and then we lose money in trying to regain health. Social responsibility. In the process of making money, we neglect our social responsibilities and let the system deteriorate till we become victims ourselves. Scrutinize your goals. A person who aims at nothing never misses. Aiming low is the biggest mistake. Winners see objectives, losers see obstacles. Our goals should be high enough to motivate, yet realistic enough to avoid discouragement. Anything we do either takes us closer to our goal or further away. Each goal must be evaluated in light of the following, similar to the Rotary's four-way test. 1. Is it the truth? 2. Is it fair to all concerned? 3. Will it give me goodwill? 4. Will it get me health, wealth, and peace of mind? 5. Is it consistent with my other goals? 6. Can I commit myself to it? The following examples fail the test. A. If one of my goals is to be the embodiment of good health with no money, it is quite obvious that it will be hard to survive. That means it is not consistent with my other goals. B. A person could make all the money in the world, yet, if he loses his family and health, it is not worth it, is it? C. A person could make $1 million by selling drugs but then for the rest of his life. He would be running from the law. He would take away his peace of mind, and this kind of behavior would not be fair to all concerned, nor will it give him goodwill. Each goal must be evaluated by putting it to the test, and all goals must be incongruence. Goals without action are empty dreams. Actions turn dreams into goals. Even if we miss our goals, it does not make us a failure. Delay does not mean defeat. It only means one has to replan to accomplish one's target. Just like a camera needs focus to take a good picture, we need goals to make a productive life. Goals should be consistent with our values. Goals lead to purpose in life. It is starting point for success. Aim for the moon. Even if you miss, you will become one of the stars. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Henry Ford. All of us in this world have a purpose in life, and that purpose may vary from person to person. An orchestra would be pretty dull if everyone played the same instrument. Make no little plans, they have no magic to stir men's blood. Make big plans, aim high in hope and work. Daniel H. Burnham. It doesn't matter where we are. What really matters is in what direction we are heading. Effort and courage without purpose is wasted. Worry leads to negative goal setting. It is thinking about things you don't want to happen. Activity is not the same as accomplishment. There is a big difference between activity and accomplishment. This was demonstrated by a French scientist named Faber. He conducted an experiment with processionary caterpillars. Caterpillars follow the one in front of them blindly. Faber arranged them in a circle in a flower pot so that the lead caterpillar actually was behind the last one, forming a circle. He put pine needles, food for the caterpillars, in the center of the flower pot. The caterpillars kept going in a circle in the pot. Eventually, after a week of circling around, they dropped dead of exhaustion and starvation with food only inches away from them. We need to learn a lesson from the caterpillars. Just because you are doing something doesn't mean you are getting anywhere. One must evaluate one's activity in order to have accomplishment. A man was out driving with his wife, and the wife said, "Honey, we are going the wrong way." The husband replied, "Who cares? We are making great time." If we confuse activity with accomplishment, we could be making great time, but we won't get anywhere. Meaningless goals. A farmer had a dog who used to sit by the roadside waiting for vehicles to come around. As soon as one came, he would run down the road, barking and trying to overtake it. One day, a neighbor asked the farmer, "Do you think your dog is ever going to catch a car?" The farmer replied, "That is not what bothers me. What bothers me is what he would do if he ever caught one." Many people in life behave like that dog who is pursuing meaningless goals. Action plan. 1. Make definite goals. 2. Write them down. 3. Read your goals twice a day, morning and night. 4. Make goals slightly out of reach but not out of sight. 5. Check your progress periodically.